As a coach, one of the topics we get asked about a lot, and one that I also cover on my blog quite a bit, is should you be agency represented or should you be freelance?
Yeah, that's a big one. I've worked with freelance models. Of course, we're both agency models, so there's two sides to every story, and there are some people who are better fit for one side than the other. So what would you say is your biggest pro of having an agent?
So there's pros and cons to both. One of the biggest pros I would say to having an agency versus not having an agency would be that you aren't the one responsible for the whole process. So they're finding your jobs for you, then they're also negotiating the terms for you. Contracts. They're the ones sending the payment, chasing down the payment if the client isn't paying you. So for me, having somebody managing that whole process for me is a huge pro.
Yeah, that's for me the same. It's a lot lower stress. Also, if a client doesn't pay and you're freelance, what are you going to do? You're kind of out of luck. Or, you may hire your own legal team and then you got to decide whether it's worth it for you to even go after them for payment. My favorite thing is that jobs pay better when you have an agency.
Yes.
You do have to pay commission. That's a con for some freelance models. They don't like the idea of giving their money to somebody. But if you think about the exchange, that 20% pays for their clients, their legal team, and also you have somebody to ask the questions, set up everything, get your lunch order situated if you have a special diet, those kinds of things.
One of the pros to being freelance, however, is when you're signed with an agency, a lot of times they have a little control over what you look like, how you're marketed, what types of jobs you do. As a freelance model, you have free reign to do whatever creative projects you want to do. So you don't have to check in with anybody. So that is a big pro for some freelance models.
That really is. If I can speak the adverse to that, I like the idea that my agent knows what I need to look like to book more jobs. The con of being freelance is you have to find your own jobs. You have to sometimes provide your own wardrobe. I remember when I was getting back into modeling, and one of the things that I really didn't understand is why this stylist is messaging me for my clothes.
So you have to bring your own wardrobe.
Well, you have to bring your own wardrobe, but those are the kinds of things that I asked my agent. Well, when you're freelance, you really don't have someone to bounce those kinds of questions off of, and that can really make the experience a little jarring.
Yeah, it really can. You don't have that kind of mentor leading you through.
Absolutely. Being able to contact that person at 11 o'clock at night and say, hey, I haven't got my call sheet yet, right? When do I have to be on set? So that kind of stuff is very important to me. I like to limit as much stress as possible through these jobs.
Another pro of being an agency represented model is that as soon as you sign that contract, you automatically have access to that list of clients that an agent has.
Absolutely.
So as a freelance model, it's a lot harder to try and get in front of those people because a lot of times the big name clients who you want to work for aren't even going to look at a freelance model. They're going straight to agencies. So that would be a huge pro, in my opinion, to having an agency.
Yeah, in contact with casting directors here in Kansas City, because we're not such a large fashion market. We're more commercial. Getting a good relationship with a casting director is vital to your success in this industry.
Yes.
Well, especially in this market.
I think we both know several models who are successful freelance models.
Absolutely.
And so it's not that you can't do it. You may have to work a little harder, but there's really no right or wrong being agency represented or being freelance. It's kind of a personal preference and what you feel is best for your career.
Absolutely.